Chapter 12. Then Yeshua on a certain Shabbat passed by sowed fields, and his Talmudim, being hungry, took of the ears of grain and ate. Then the Parashim who saw it said to him, Your Talmudim do what is not proper to do on the Shabbat. So Yeshua said to them, Have you yourselves never read what David did when he became hungry, he and those who were with him, that he entered into the house of El, and they ate the set apart loaves, which loaves he and those who were with him were not worthy to eat, but were for the priests alone? And have you yourselves never read in the law that the priests at times break the Shabbatot in the sanctuary with no iniquity? Truth, I say to you, that he who is here, he is greater than the sanctuary. And if you consider what I want to say, I desire steadfast love more than offering. You yourselves would not at any time have punished the erring ones. For the son of Eloah is Adon also of the Shabbat. And when he had passed on further, he came to their house of assembly. And there was a man with a hand dried out. And they asked him if it was proper to cleanse him on the Shabbat, in order that they could slander him. But he said to them, Who is there of you who has a sheep, if it falls into a pit on the Shabbat, does not take it out? How much better is the man than the sheep? And in this respect, it is proper to do good on the Shabbat. And then he said to the man, Stretch out your hand. And it was stretched out. It was restored to him with health like the other. And then the Parashim went out and held a council against him, by what means they would be able to kill him. When Yeshua knew this, he departed from them, and many peoples went after him, and he healed them, all of them. And he commanded that they should not publish it, so that what was said by Yeshua the prophet should be fulfilled, saying, See you my son, whom I choose, and my beloved, who is exceedingly pleasing to my nephesh. I will place my ruach on him, and I will make righteousness known among the peoples. He will not argue nor cry out, nor will any man hear his voice in the street. A crushed reed he will not break, the smoking wood he will not quench, until they go forth to the mighty judgment, and in his name the islands will hope. And then they sent a Satan-possessed one to him, blind and dumb, and he healed him in such a way that he spoke and saw. And all the people were astonished and looked and said, How could this not be the son of David? But when the Parashim heard this, they said, This man does not drive out demons, except by the power of Baal-Zevav, the prince of the demons. So Yeshua, who knew their thoughts, said, Every kingdom that is divided in itself will be desolated, and every city or house that is divided will not stand. Thus, if one demon drives out the other, they are divided among themselves. So how will their kingdom be prolonged? If I drive out the demons by the power of Baal-Zevav, your sons, by what power do they drive them out? And because of this, they will be your judges. But if I by the Ruach of El drive out the demons, if so, did not the heavenly kingdom come among you? And how will one be able to enter into the house of the strong and mighty man, and to break it, if he does not first bind him by power? And afterwards he can rob him of his house. Whosoever is not with me is against me, and whosoever does not gather with me scatters against me. And in this respect I say to you that an iniquity of a curse will be atoned for the men, except whosoever says a curse against Ruach HaKodesh. For whosoever speaks against Ruach HaKodesh will not have atonement in this world or in the coming world. Every good tree produces good fruit, and a bad tree produces bad fruit. Therefore, man recognizes the tree by the fruit. Genealogy of serpents! How are you able to speak good while you are evil? The mouth speaks of the abundance of the heart. A good man gives good things from his treasure, but the evil man from an evil treasure gives evil. Because of this, I say to you that for every weighty speech that is spoken among the men, a man will have to give a report to El in the day of judgment. You will either be saved because of your words, or you will be utterly destroyed because of your words. Then some of the wise ones, knowing literature, and the Perushim, answered him, saying, Rabbi, we want to see some sign from you. But Yeshua answered them, O evil nation, no sign will be given to you except the sign of Yonah the prophet. For just like Yonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights, so will the Son of the Virgin be in the heart of the earth 3 days and 3 nights. The nobles of Nineveh will stand up for the day of judgment with this nation, and they will punish it, for they performed repentance at the preaching of Yonah, and here is one greater than Yonah. And the queen of Sheba will stand up for the day of judgment with this nation, and will punish it, for she came from the end of the world to hear the wisdom of Shalomah. And here is one wiser than Shalomah. Now, when the Satan goes out of a man, he walks by difficult places, seeking rest, and he does not find it. Then he says in himself, I will return unto my house that I went out of. And when he comes, he finds it cleansed and pure of all divinations. Then he goes and takes 7 spirits more evil than himself, and they enter there and stay there. And at the end of that man, they will be more evil than at the beginning, and his last works more evil than the first ones. Something just like this is about to come to this evil nation. And while he spoke unto the people, his mother and his relatives stood outside and wanted to speak with him. Then a certain man said to him, Your mother and your relatives are standing outside and are asking for you. So Yeshua answered and said to him, Who is my mother, and who is my brother, or my relatives? Everyone who does the will of my Father who is in the heavens. He is my brother, and my sister, and my mother.